What's up guys? Welcome back to Ride the Bean. Today was another day where the weather was kind of good. Still a lot of snow. We've had a few days of snowfall lately. But today the roads are clear at least, even though the forest is not. But today's episode is not really a fun one. But I want to talk to you about something terrible that has happened. I'm not really sure exactly how to say this or what to say, but I figured I would take a ride and go to a nice place, collect my thoughts, and just see what comes out. This is a pretty nice place next to the river in the forest. It's kind of nice. Some of you guys already know what has happened, but I've gotten a lot of questions about it, and I wanted to reflect on it a little bit for myself before I talk about it on YouTube. And I don't really want to go into any details about what happened, but I'll try to explain how this situation has affected me, and I'm gonna try to be as open and honest as I can. But this is the most vulnerable I've ever been on camera. But this happened, so just gotta deal with it. Most of you guys probably subscribe to the channel to follow mine and Pia's journey to Africa. Or you found us after our accident and wanted to see how the recovery process went and what we are up to now. The reason we started this whole thing together, is planning the trip, starting the YouTube channel and all of that, it was because we have both been struggling with, how do you say, suicidal thoughts, depression, meaninglessness, those kinds of feelings and thoughts. In fact, that was one of the things that we bonded over when we met. We talked about it for an hour on our first date. And for my own sake, I felt like finally I had met someone who actually understood how I was feeling inside, and someone I could talk to about it. Ducks are always nice. And starting this channel was our way of trying to come out of that situation, get out of that sort of funk or depression or whatever you want to call it, and try to focus on the good things in life. We figured that getting new experiences, learning new things, meeting new people, experiencing more, challenging ourselves a little bit, gave more meaning to life in a way, and made life more interesting. So this channel was our way of sort of forcing ourselves out of our comfort zones to experience more of the world. Neither of us liked being on camera. We were both pretty shy and sort of introverted, so starting a YouTube channel made perfect sense to get out of our comfort zone. It was the most uncomfortable thing we could think of in a way, but it also helped us sort of actually do something. Having an audience expecting a video from us forced us to go out and do stuff in a way. It's easy to come up with excuses when you're sitting alone inside and have no expectations on you, but if someone is expecting something, it's easier to get stuff done. We spent a lot of time preparing and working towards reaching our goal. We had to learn how to edit video. Neither of us had ever done that before. Pia had to learn how to ride a motorcycle. We had to plan a route, start a business, learn how to do that, figure out all the visa requirements for Africa and all of that, learn how to fix our bikes a little bit at least, a lot of different things. And it took a lot out of us, but we both agreed that it would be worth it in the end. The experiences that we would get would make us better people and give us a new lease on life in a way. We were sure that it would pay off once we got on the road. And then we reached our goal. And on the day we started our journey, everything went to hell. We had a major accident, and Pia broke her back, And I ended up in the hospital for 6 weeks, having to have 3 surgeries, and I'm still recovering from that. But when I woke up in the hospital, I was actually angry. I was angry that I was alive. I did not want to be alive. If I never woke up, I wouldn't have had to deal with all the pain and the stress and all the crap that has happened after. And so in one way, I was upset that Pia saved my life. I know that may sound crazy, but that's how I felt. I tried to stay positive on the outside, but inside I was feeling really depressed and really just... I did not want to be alive at that point. Pia was just amazing throughout this whole time. She was really there for me when she did not have to be. She was also in a lot of pain and she was struggling herself. But still, she spent so much time with me and so much effort making sure that I was doing as well as I could. Taking care of me on top of having to care for herself. And it took a lot out of her. I didn't really see it at the time, but that was Pia. She always cared for people. She was the most caring person I've ever met. And she always put everyone else before herself. Although I didn't really want to be alive at the time, I was so thankful to her for all the effort she put in, all the help she gave me, and all the support. But it cost her more than I realized at the time. If she had not been there with me, both in the hospital and at the scene of the accident, I would not be alive today. That's for sure. I would not be sitting here today if she was not with me. At the accident, she made sure that we got saved. And in the hospital, she made me want to keep fighting. Without her, I would have just given up. I wouldn't have wanted to continue. And then after all that, if you have been following our story, you kind of know what happened. As soon as I got out of the hospital and I started to be able to care for myself again, she left me. And I was heartbroken. She never really gave me an explanation for why she left, but I guess that it was an accumulation of several different reasons. And the accident and everything that happened there, I think, took a lot out of her, and I think it was a big part of her decision. I think it just became too much for her, having to take care of me, herself, and everything else that was going on at the time. I will never know for sure the full reason, but I believe that had a lot to do with it. After she left, I was devastated. It broke me completely. She was the only reason I felt like fighting to stay alive was worth it. All the pain and everything. She was the only reason it was worth it for me at the time. And when she left, all I could think about was, how am I going to end this now? I don't want to be here anymore. But I am lucky to have a lot of good friends, and they talked me out of it. And also all the comments that you guys have left on YouTube has sort of helped me want to keep going, in a way, if that makes sense. When enough people tell you that you should keep fighting and you should keep living, then it has an effect. I started reflecting a little bit more. And about 2-3 months after she left, I had sort of gotten over the worst pain of her leaving, and I was starting to think positive again. I was starting to look to the future and getting excited about things again. I was starting to feel excited about spring and the season starting, and I was excited about my new job at Langera as a coffee roaster. Pia was back at her work as a nurse, a job that she loved, really enjoyed. She had started taking better care of herself, started doing yoga, doing things that she enjoyed again. She hadn't done that for quite some time. Things were looking up for both of us. Despite all that happened, we were still good friends and we still talked. To me, she seemed to be doing pretty well, and I was happy to see that she looked good. She seemed good. That made me feel good. Although it wasn't with me, I only wanted what was best for her, and it looked like she was about to find that. And then one day, it was a Wednesday, I was preparing to do sort of a coffee course or coffee talk for a group of students. And then about 15 minutes before they arrived, I got a text from one of Pia's friends. Pia had committed suicide. I didn't really know how to react. I was in shock, and I was just reading the message over and over again. Didn't really believe it, I didn't understand it. And then a couple minutes later, a group of 20 students walked in the door. And I just had to sort of refocus my brain and be happy and talk about coffee. And like I said, I don't really want to go into details about what happened, how she did it, or anything like that. That's for the family and friends to know, I feel. But Pia had succeeded in taking her own life, and my worst nightmare had come true. Although we were not together anymore, I still cared for her a lot, and I just wanted her to be happy. Today, as I'm recording this, this happened about a month ago, and I've needed some time to sort of take all of this in and reflect on how I'm feeling about it. I've been through every stage of grieving, and right now I feel kind of apathetic towards it, towards the whole situation, in a way. My first thought when I heard it was, fuck, I want to join her. I want to do the same thing. After talking to some friends and taking some time to reflect, I started thinking about why she did it. What could have been the reason? Pia and I had a lot of conversations about this throughout our relationship, and we both agreed that taking your own life is a terrible thing to do. It hurts everyone around you. It leaves a big hole in the hearts of everyone who cares about you, and it's a terrible thing. It is. It causes a lot of pain for a lot of people. There is no do-over. You don't get a second chance, and it's a final decision once it's been made. But at the same time, it is a decision that is up to each individual to make. No one can force you to stay alive if you do not want to. Pia has been carrying a lot of pain around her whole life, more pain than most people ever go through. I'm not going to share any of the details around that here. Those secrets were Pia's secrets, and it's not my place to tell the world about them. But she has been in a lot of pain her whole life. But she has overcome a lot. She is the most resilient person I've ever met, and one of the most stubborn people I've ever known. If she had set her mind to something, she did it. Whatever it was. Getting her motorbike license, she cried and was frustrated and angry and sad and everything, but she finally made it, and once she made it, it made her really happy. She had a lot of fun riding a motorcycle. Same thing with her nursing license, nursing school. In school, she didn't believe in herself, she didn't think she could do it, but she did it, and she became a fantastic nurse, a great nurse. Whatever she set her mind to, she achieved. She didn't really believe in herself, but she always kept pushing, and that was one of the things that really impressed me about her. She always managed to achieve her goals in the end. She motivated me a lot to do the same. Most of the time throughout her life, that was a great thing. She achieved a lot because of it, but now in the end she also managed to achieve ending her life. This whole thing, this situation, it's a tragedy of epic proportions. It's the saddest thing I can imagine. But although she felt like she could not continue living, she has had a huge impact on everyone around her, every person she ever met. She has bettered the life of everyone around her, and all of our lives are better because we knew her. You can't say that about most people, I think. No matter how much it hurts us, the people who loved her, this is something we just have to accept and respect. This was her choice, and no matter how much we wish she made a different choice, that was not our decision to make. We may not understand why she did it, but we have to respect her decision. All we can do is accept it and do our best to move on. I so wish that I could switch places with her. She has so much more to offer this world than I do, but I can't. But in the end, she was her own master, and if there is one decision I believe a human being should be allowed to make for themselves, it is this. If a human being do not wish to be alive, nobody should force them to be. I know that might be a controversial statement, but that's what I believe. Pia was very good at keeping the separate parts of her life separate. Like, she never mixed her work friends with her friends, or her friends with her family, or relationship with family or friends. She liked to be in control of every situation, every part of her life. And if her friends met her family too much and mingled, she was not in control over the situation anymore. And that made her feel uncomfortable. So me as her partner, I only ever met her friends and family a few times throughout all the years we were together. I didn't really know any of them. So when she passed away now, it was kind of nice to see all the people coming together to sort of show respect and to honor her life. She has affected hundreds of people throughout her life, from friends to patients to co-workers to everyone here on YouTube, you guys. Everyone has very strong and very fond memories of Pia. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say anything negative about her. And personally, all of this has made me think and reflect a lot about myself and my own life. After everything that has happened this past year, from collapsing at the post office from overwork to losing my business that I've worked so hard for many years to build, to Corona, to crashing in the middle of nowhere and having to spend weeks in the hospital, and then losing my best friend, losing my relationship, and now this, I feel kind of numb towards everything. I basically lost everything that I cared about this past 12 months. And to be honest, I'm still having suicidal thoughts, but I'm reflecting a lot more on those thoughts now. I'm sort of understanding when my thoughts and feelings are severe and when they're not. And I'm able to rationalize my thoughts a lot better than I was before. I've sort of understood that shit doesn't really matter all that much, really. Tragedy or triumph. It doesn't really matter. It's all just a part of the roller coaster called life. One day I'll be dead and I won't know the difference anymore. So until that day, I should just do whatever makes me the most happy, try to feel as good as I can, have fun, enjoy life, enjoy the world, situations and moments like this, travel, new experiences, all of that. And try to make every moment a good moment, because when it's over, it's over. Enjoy it while it lasts. Pia's last words to me was a text that I got a few days before she committed suicide. And the last sentence in that text said, I really hope that you'll be able to go on your dream trip. So to honor that, I have decided to try my best to stay positive, say yes to every opportunity that comes along that seems fun and interesting. Basically grab life by the balls, because it can be over in a split second. something that I've experienced a couple times this past year. I will try not to take things so seriously anymore, stop worrying about shit that doesn't really matter all that much. In my view, life is only worth what you put into it. There's no intrinsic meaning to life, and each individual has to create their own meaning for their own lives. And I am unsure exactly what the meaning of my own life is. I think it changes all the time, but for now, right now, I think the meaning of my life is to experience as much as I can in the world and have fun, basically. That might change at some point, but for now I think that's what I want the meaning of my life to be. I want to enjoy the world, see as much as I can, and explore, meet people, and get new experiences. What would you say the meaning of your life is? If Pia has taught me anything, it is that life is short, so enjoy it while it lasts. Because you don't get a second chance. I know this was not the most fun episode, but I feel it was important to at least let you know what has happened. And although I don't want to talk about any details around what happened, out of respect for Pia and her family and everything, this is something that has affected me a lot, and it will continue to affect me for a long time to come. But I will do my best to do exactly what I've said now, to just live life and enjoy it, get new experiences, meet new people. I want to meet a lot of you guys, as many of you as I can. And yeah, I guess that's what we all should do, just enjoy life. So thank you guys for watching. Next episode will be more fun, I promise that. But until then, have a good week and peace out. See you next time.